Today I'm going to give you the secret code, the magic key, the password to how it was possible for an outsider from Australia to come to Taiwan, discover a cultural revolution here, and decide to take it to another level by becoming an insider. I'm a practicing professional curator. I started in the creative industries, age 17, working for a newspaper as a photographer, learning how to tell stories with images. But there was another interesting thing I was learning while working, and that was that every time I will use my camera and focus onto somebody, for a moment I would just have this feeling I would see myself in the face of a stranger. How fascinating. And as a creative person, I decided that I will follow this fascination. With time, my creative need kind of grew, became unstoppable hunger for cultural exploration. Everything in culture interested me, from the tradition of the past to the technology of the future. And I always looked for artistic expression that can show us a window in this amazing world of non-duality. I also choose work that would take me traveling to different places, especially in Asia. And with time, world culture became my home. I was a little fish swimming in this vast ocean, and I felt very happy because I felt I found my purpose, I found a mission in life. But as time passed, I also started to see how if we all begin to flow in the experience of our cultural diversity, instead of using culture to build walls and barriers between each other, we have a better chance to create the understanding we so much need in this world. So this became my life's work. I always look for opportunities to lead using culture and creative ideas across borders. 2011 was a very interesting year for me because it was the year of design here. A lot of events happened, and when the industry kind of moves east, we in Australia have to be on the move to stay connected. So I came to Taiwan as a delegate of the World Design Congress. But you know, a business trip is a wonderful thing. What you do with it is the real deal. And usually, for me, the business triggers, the kind of creative inspiration comes from beautiful artistic objects, like this gift which I received from the Congress. The things that I saw inside this bowl were so amazing, and the possibilities that I saw were limitless, that I decided to do something that nobody's ever done, and that is to find 100 similar products, and use them to write a new story about Taiwan. You have to understand that when I started 2013, it was about September, October 2013. I knew very few people here. I had no network, I had no business support, no professional name or credibility. And of course, I didn't speak Chinese. For a moment, my brain was saying, oh, forget about it. But I listened to another voice. It's a deeper, quiet, whispering voice that says, come on, girl, you've been a pioneer all your life. You're gonna stop now? And the naughty part of me says, no, I'm not gonna stop now. I just have to make the next step. So I did. And for 700 days, I traveled around Taiwan, visited 350 companies, managed to finish 120 interviews, and wrote 88 stories for the book. It was a long swim in the wide open sea, and I have to tell you, the weather kept changing all the time. I want to share with you what I learned from my meeting with the designer of the beautiful bowl. Some of you, I'm sure, know him. He has high regard in design industry. His name is Artie Peng. He left the commercial world to work with local communities under a brand name called Trip View Bowl. And he designed 17 bowls, each one of them The Bowl of Regeneration really fascinated me because it commemorates the 9/21 earthquake, 7.3 magnitude. All of you know that. Thousands of people lost their lives in the disaster. Huge damage was done to property and infrastructure. Artie managed to capture these amazing scenes in great detail in the bowl. These are the tiny little figures that you see inside. And you can see airdrops and the Red Cross helicopter hovering over the city, power lines broken, the engineers monitoring earthquake aftershocks. But if you think for a moment, this is not a story about tragedy. This is a story about triumph, about people finding strength in each other. And if you imagine this tiny little bowl being our Earthship, it's all of us in it together, floating in space. And if our Earthship goes down, we all go down. This was the power of design. Sometime past halfway through the book, I got a call from a friend who said, "I'm really very sorry to tell you, but Artie has passed away. Would you like to come to the memorial service?" This was a shock for all of us. I just met a friend, and I said, "I know I'll be the only white person there, but please, I would like to come." And I'm glad that I did, because as I was watching the memorial service, listening to the translation of the word celebrating Artie's life, it just occurred to me, we didn't speak each other's language, but through the light of our spirits, we found an understanding, and that was his real gift. And at that moment, I realized that I was on a different kind of mission now with this book, and I will search for that life of inspiration in everyone I met. Taiwan is a really interesting place for design, precisely because of the earthquakes and typhoons and the population and pollution and all these problems. They do push designers to think in new, innovative ways and to create solutions. And I'll show you some examples. This is a kettle that saves electricity. Then we have a takeaway cup that you can use 100 times. A blanket made out of 100% recycled plastic bottles. A fabric in which you can grow vegetables. Of course, smart helmet to think for you and keep you safe. And I have to mention this, please forgive me, a smart scooter. The Cultural Revolution is everywhere, and I'm happy to be part of it. But there was one piece still missing. It was February 2016. The book was done, the interviews were finished, everything completed, but I still did not have the finances. And I always knew that this whole project can collapse because of the money. I was kind of anxious and didn't know what to do. And one night, just in panic, I texted one of my designer friends. I don't meet him very often, but I trust him that he will speak the truth to me. And I just said, "I'm really worried. We have to go to the public because that's the last thing, the last option left. What do I do?" And the words that popped up on my phone were the best words a Taiwanese person have ever spoken to me. And it just said, "I believe in you." And at that moment I realized, I see myself in you, but many of you see yourself in me. And the trust that I needed, I got it. This was not easy. This was a challenging project because I had 3 difficulties to overcome every day. The first one was, this is unfamiliar culture. I had to turn it into familiar. Strangers had to become friends. And of course, I had to build trust in a place that is not open multicultural Australia. So how did I do that? The first thing is I explored, and I suggest you do the same. Explore the new and learn from it. You will become richer. Enjoy meeting new people and really appreciate them for their unique talents. I promise you, you'll become smarter. And if trust is an issue, learn how to empower others to see possibilities inside the impossible. This will make you stronger. From then on, we launched a campaign on the internet. The public supported me. We raised $1.5 million, 1,000 backers, 88 stories, one story. This is the kind of world I really wish for. This is how we can create a world that is free and safe and fun for everyone. And this kind of world, the first step towards it begins in the heart. Thank you.